Hey folks, good morning and welcome to an episode of Steelers Morning Rush. I'm Alan Saunders. It is Friday, August 8th in Jacksonville, Florida, getting ready for tomorrow night's preseason game. Big shout out to Brendan Howe, who manned things at practice yesterday, so I was flying to Jacksonville, and to Hunter Homestead for filling in on Steelers Afternoon Drive. I think he did a great job. And also, you should check out Hunter's 247 Fighting. We've got an event coming up this weekend, and if you're into MMA and you live in Pittsburgh, it is a very cool thing. So definitely do that. And thanks again, like I said, to Brandon Julie Pelusi, also filling in for the practice report yesterday here on the YouTube channel, and the whole gang. Steelers are off today. They are flying to Florida today. We'll be catching up with them later on. But tomorrow night is the preseason opener against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Today we'll talk a little bit about obviously the big topic that Smitty and Hunter talked about yesterday, which was the news breaking that Cam Heyward and Chris Boswell are both looking for contract extensions. I've been aware that Chris Boswell is probably looking for some kind of new contract or some kind of raise or something like that for a little while now. Wasn't aware of Cam Heyward. There's like two big misconceptions that I feel like I want to clear up here that I see a lot coming out from Steelers fans. The first thing is that this is causing some kind of disturbance or disruption in the team, and that couldn't be farther from the truth. Chris Boswell did not kick a single field goal all training camp last year when he did not have a contract issue. Cam Heyward barely does anything in any practice setting at this stage of his career. The team does not want them to. It's not necessary. So them not participating means absolutely nothing to the team. It doesn't harm anyone. No one is impacted by it. In fact, guys are helped by it, honestly. Been a lot more reps for Derek Harmon. There have been a lot more reps for Isaiah Loudermilk. There have been a lot more reps for Logan Lee and Y.A. Black because Cam Heyward isn't out there. And Ben Sauls is trying to prove that he can be an NFL kicker, which I think he can be. I was a little surprised that he came to Pittsburgh because I think he's good enough. And so he wants that opportunity. No one is being harmed by Chris Boswell and Cam Heyward not practicing. In fact, Chris Boswell will not practice. Chris Boswell doesn't practice in the regular season, basically. Like Cam does, but I mean, yeah. So the team is not being harmed in any way by these guys sitting out or whatever you want to call it. Like I said, it's hardly, you can't even call it a hold-in because they don't practice anyway. Like they're not doing anything they would be doing otherwise. They're just looking for new deals. There's no drama here. There's no bad feelings. There's none of that. Just looking for new deals. Lots of guys are looking for new deals. I'm sure Calvin Austin and Jalen Warren want a new deal too. If somebody really got their agent and bent their ear. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, and I see this all the time, and we got a comment from Mark Collins. I'm not picking on Mark because I saw about 3,000 of these yesterday. Just happened to be his was the first I saw on our YouTube feed. They have contracts, honor them. That's false. A non-guaranteed contract means absolutely nothing to either side. If Cam Heyward was awful last year, the Steelers would have cut him and not paid him. 100%. 100%. If Cam Heyward was awful last year, they would have cut him and he would have earned none of his money going forward. And so when Cam Heyward roughly double, I mean, he outperformed his contract by like double, basically. Like the going rate for an all-pro defensive lineman is double what he made. Then yeah, he absolutely should go ask for more money. Contracts are only supposed to be honored if they are guaranteed. Non-guaranteed contracts mean absolutely nothing. So that's what you have. You have a negotiation every year. And if people are upset about there being negotiations every year, maybe they should say, hey, NFL, why don't you just guarantee the contracts and then we don't have this problem? People say, oh, he just got a contract last year. He only got 1 year guaranteed in that contract. We talked a lot about how that contract was incredibly team-friendly last year. Well, he did sign an incredibly team-friendly contract last year that only gave him 1 year guaranteed money. And now he wants something else, which is what he should want. I understand as a fan, it is frustrating to watch the players that you want to root for and the team that you want to root for at loggerheads all the time. But the teams and the league, and by the way, this lack of guaranteed contract structure is the whole thing that's going on with the NFLPA right now and how they couldn't win their grievance against the league and then hit it for, I don't know why, but because J.C. Tretter and Lloyd Howell are idiots. But this whole thing is caused by the fact that contracts are not guaranteed, and teams don't want to give out guaranteed contracts, and then they don't because the team wants to be able to cut the player if he doesn't perform up to the level of the contract. Well, the other side of that coin is if the player overperforms the level of the contract, he's just not going to sit there and take it. If you don't have that balance, you don't have an ecosystem. You have to, okay? If you're going to have non-guaranteed contracts where you can cut a player for bad performance, then the player is going to come to you and say, I overperformed it. Now I need more money. That's just that's the way it is. So if the Steelers didn't want to deal with Cam Heyward again this offseason, they should have given him 2 years guaranteed last year. They didn't want to, and now here we are. The Steelers have plenty of cap space. They have plenty of ways to make Chris Boswell and Cam Heyward some more money this year. Probably pull it from future years since they're maybe not Boz because kickers play for a long time. But you can look at Cam's contract, pull some money from future years, put it up front, make it a signing bonus, just like the Dolphins did with Minkah Fitzpatrick, and it won't be a big deal. This is not going to be a big deal. So the whole freak out I watched online yesterday was just absurd. But yeah, I don't think people understand that a non-guaranteed contract means absolutely nothing to either side, and that it is always up for renegotiation whenever either side decides it wants to be. That's the big deal here, and that's why this they have contracts thing is just totally off base. That's all I got for this morning. Afternoon drive with Smitty and DB coming up a little later. No practice today, so no practice report, no sites. It sounds that kind of thing. I will be live at Everbank Stadium on Saturday night, and me and Smitty will do a post-game show after that one, so stick around for that. Until next time, thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and enjoy.